Hi everyone, I'm Myra Padilla and I wanted to share an observation as well as extend an invitation. Throughout this pandemic, what's brought me the most comfort are the moments when we've managed to come together despite social distancing. And I'm particularly thinking about the nightly cheering that we do on behalf of our brave healthcare workers, as well as the sharing of hundreds of memes and videos that have kept us in laughter. And yet, in contrast, I can't help but notice how that spirit of coming together isn't actually coming together in the same way in the recognition of those who've died and those who are grieving. And at first, I thought I had missed something, and then I realized quickly that no, there's a void here, and I'm feeling it, and I'm wondering if you are too. Because what I know is that I'm feeling this loss, and I'm going to need to do both. I want to both celebrate the lives that are being saved and the people who are saving them, as well as acknowledge those who've died and the people who are grieving them. Especially now when so many of us are having to find new ways to grieve because we can't come together. So I asked myself, what is it that I can do in the face of so much loss and grief? And what came to me was pause and remember. And it's become a daily practice for me, and I wanted to share it with you. It's become this call to attention to help address this void. And what it is this. Every day at noon, when I hear the church bells in my neighborhood ring, I stop whatever it is I'm doing and I take a pause. And I think of those who've died that day and those who love them, and I send them love and strength and remembrance. I've not had the pleasure of seeing their faces. I do not know their names, and yet I know that they're not some unknown other or just the number on a global tracker. I know that we're connected. And in that same moment at noon every day, I feel what I feel when I'm cheering for the healthcare workers. I find myself in that heart of humanity with its sense of connection and ability to uplift. And that's my hope, because what I know of loss and grief intimately is that it's incredibly difficult to go through it alone. The burden of grief is lightened when we can share it and when we can acknowledge each other in it. And if we can't do that right now in the same ways because of this virus, then we need to find new ways. So this is my invitation. Please join me to pause and remember. Wherever you are in the world, every day at noon your time and every day at noon my time, let's take a moment. Let's take a moment to remember those who've died and those who are grieving them, and let's send them some love so that they know that they're not alone. And let's also acknowledge that we're experiencing death and grief on a level that many of us have never seen before, and it's overwhelming. And let's try to find ways to talk about it and help each other through that. I hope you will join me at noon. And if this message resonates, please feel free to share it with your friends and family and on social media so that more of us can come together. Lastly, come find me on Instagram at Pause and Remember, because I want to continue this conversation and I want to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening. Please stay well.